It really is kind of cool seeing it from this side, because we only, like again, we only saw the cliff side when we're playing the crossbow games. Who are they? Engineers and tradesmen, mostly. You'll see a lot of them around here. Keeping a fortress this size up and running is a full-time job for more than just the military's people. So it seems. It's almost like its own town here. And back it goes. On the other side of this fortress, it's more or less a straight shot to Crossbow City, right? To think that such a bustling center of trade is so close to a massive military facility like this. Yeah, Crossbow City is only about 30 minutes away by train. From the top of the fortress, you can even see the skyscraper where the trade conference is going to take place.
I see you've arrived.
Hey.
Oh,
Instructor Neidhart!
Good morning, Major Neidhart. Instructor Valestein of Thor's Military Academy, homeroom teacher for Class 7, reporting the arrival of myself and all students in my care.
acknowledging your arrival at 11:30 hours. Welcome to Garrelia Fortress.
The formalities.
In addition to my teaching duties at the Academy, I hold the rank of Major in the Imperial Army's 4th Armored Division. I'll be acting as your guide, as well as your instructor for special lectures during your time here at the fortress. Now, if you'll follow me.
Well, these beds don't seem the most comfy. Oh my, okay. that zoom around. Here. Including today, you have 2 days remaining in this month's field study. However, we won't be assigning you any tasks during that time. Instead, you'll be participating in a series of special lectures and a field trip. A field trip? Here. So what exactly does that entail, instructor? At 1400 hours today, a joint military exercise will be taking place at Garrelia's Proving Ground. The 4th and 5th Armored Divisions will both be participating, and you will be observing it. We're going to watch a military exercise? The 4th Armored Division, huh? The 4th Armored Division is led by none other than Elliot's dad, Lieutenant General Olaf Craig. By all accounts, it's one of the strongest armored divisions in the Imperial Army. And did you know our friend, the Major here, is their most promising young member? It's true. Moving on. As I said, you'll only be participating or observing, I can't read, this exercise, not actively participating. I imagine that has some of you feeling rather relieved, doesn't it? It does sound like a pretty easy assignment after all. But we'll see how many of you feel the same after experiencing it for yourselves. That's all from me. It's currently 11:50 hours. Lunch has been prepared for you in the mess hall. I advise all of you to eat. Your field trip isn't something to be undertaken on an empty stomach. Oh boy, military food. I mean, what is that mound of? Okay, I see like apples, bread. Are those just blocks of cheese? Wait, just what is that mound? Is that like meatloaf or some shit? I don't fucking know, dude. Also, the disappointment on Reed's face right now. So, this food. We have salty corned beef, And I think I'm getting a hint of peas from the soup. You could use this bread as a lethal projectile. You could use this bread as a lethal projectile. I do think it wouldn't have hurt to use a few more herbs. Or flavors in general. Calling this edible would be generous. I've heard plenty of rumors about the food they serve in the Imperial Army, but I wouldn't have guessed they'd all be true. Huh. I didn't think the food they served in the mess hall at Zendergate was all that bad, though. I don't think it would kill them to serve something a little more appetizing. This is the exact same thing when they serve, this is the exact same thing they served when I came in with my class last year. Probably from the same batch too, by the look of it. Really brings back memories. They have like years supply of this made in advance and they just keep serving it over and over. That's just a testament to how bad their food is. I was pretty surprised the first time my dad brought me to eat here too. Huh, you guys really think it's that bad? Huh, it really brings back memories for me too. At least there's some cheese and an apple. The food served in the army makes use of common ingredients that are easy to preserve and store. The ingredients used to make all the food on your trays can be easily stockpiled in large quantities. So even if a war were to break out, a meal like this could still be served without any trouble. Ah, so that explains it. I see. So the army serves simple foods all the time to avoid the decrease in morale from wartime rationing. Well, not all the time. However, one could think of this food as a philosophical statement from the continent's strongest army, in the sense that it suggests that soldiers should live and work each day as though a war effort depends on them. Every day? So they should just be as tense during times of peace as during times of war. Well, it's a bit too much mind over matter idealism for my taste, but it's worth being aware of. And to throw a bit of different perspective in the mix here, the food the provincial army serves is actually pretty good. Good enough that you can't help but wonder how they'd cope if an actual war were to ever break out. Huh. Well, it's not like serving good food means you have a crappy army. I hear our neighbor Liberal serves up pretty tasty food in their army. Liberal's army is fairly elite. Yeah, cause the Burl is significantly smaller than Erebonian and Calvard. So what they do have is like a very strong, tight-knit, like elite group of soldiers and other professionals and stuff. Because with what few they have compared to the rest of the world, like it's kind of like the whole quality over quantity versus Erebonia's quantity over quality kind of thing. So make the most of what you have, but then for Erebonia, make the most for everyone. Even if it means giving significantly less in the form of hard rocks of bread. Probably because the threat of being neighbors to the Empire keeps them tense. I feel a little conflicted hearing you say that. Well, these things are all about finding a good balance. Variety is the spice of life, you know. If you eat nothing but dull, bland food all the time, well, you know what they say. You are what you eat. I could do with fewer of your pithy remarks in my diet, instructed Wallenstein. Come on, just hire some cooks, please. Anyway, as you heard, there's going to be a military exercise at the Proving Ground at 2 in the afternoon today. It's 12:30 right now, so you have an hour to do whatever you like. They'll make an announcement half an hour before, so be sure to listen for it. And do whatever it tells you. Understood. So when you say whatever we like, does this mean that we can tour the fortress? Of course. You are free to roam around as long as you don't poke your nose into any restricted areas. So go ahead and explore. There's plenty worth seeing here, like the command center. Though if you're feeling a little tired from your field studies so far, you're welcome to rest in your dorms. or rooms. It would be a shame to waste such a valuable opportunity. I suppose I should at least get a general overview of the fortress. Oh boy. So, Chef, about that food. What? Did you come back to complain about the food some more? That was just a welcome meal of sorts. It's not like we serve food like that every day of the week. Just 6 days out of 7. Wait, then what do you serve? What do you serve on like day 7? But on that one other day, we serve up the army's famous hashed beef rice. It's really good, you know? Gives the soldiers something to look forward to. Wait. Is this like some huge mind game with the military? It's like, you have crappy food 6 days out of 7, but on that one day, you have something different and, at the very least, a little better. A little better than what the food they normally eat. So then, during times of low morale or whatever, or just general boredom, depending, it's like, oh man, dude, I can't wait for lunch, man. We're gonna get that hash beef rice. Yo. And I'll carry them through for the day, and then have something to look forward to for the next week. Nah, they're just cheaping. They're just too cheap to hire more chefs, or not just hire more chefs, but it's just the whole philosophy of what they're being told to serve and all. But it's like, man, you give your people a little something. Come on. Oh man, hash beef rice. There are thousands of soldiers stationed here in Garrelia Fortress. And that means it can get awfully crowded here in the mess also. We do everything in shifts. Though you inevitably get people coming in late, so we never have much in the way of downtime. The Vanders are a military family entrusted with the protection of the Imperial family. They're also famous for their house's style of swordsmanship. 3 of them serve in the Imperial Army, actually. You got Lieutenant General Vander from the 3rd Armored Division, and then there's apparently another Vander in the 7th. In the 7th? Wait. Oh, that's Mueller, right? Yeah, because there was Lieutenant General, and then like around the around Zendergate. Yeah, Mueller, right. You should ask Major Neidhart more. I heard those 2 were classmates. Huh. These days I find myself looking forward to mealtime so I can read letters to my family while I eat. It sure ain't the food that puts a smile on my face, that's for sure. I don't think I can keep the slop down if I didn't have these letters to take my mind off it. Oh my god, dude. At least something more edible. We got a lot to explore, don't we? Hey, you must be those students from the military academy. So, what do you think of Garrelia? Interested in working here after you graduate? I admit the food's pretty awful, but other than that, it's not a bad place to work. Oh, we just don't have anyone else with us. Oh, wow. Well, I guess I'll focus on the north side. Let's go down. I hope I don't miss anything. Oh wait, I should probably make a save after this. Seems like this is the hangar for tanks and armored cars. It's kind of staggering to see so many of them lined up in one place. So everyone in Class 7 is kind of strewn about all over the place. Well, okay, let's talk. Lunch is waiting for me after this. I can hear her calling my name. Just gotta keep it up a little longer. We spent the whole night fitting the old tanks with C units for today's military exercise. Can you believe it? I've been at this all night without so much night of shut-eye. Once this is done, I'm gonna sleep like no one's ever slept before. These new armored cars are state-of-the-art technology, but they're practically toys compared to the oxen tanks. You'll see what I mean soon enough. Oxen tanks? Oh. Oh, wait, I don't have... Oh, I don't have detection. My daughter's turning 3 soon. Don't worry, Dad will be home soon. He just needs to survive his overtime. The legendary Craig the Red will be overseeing our military exercise today. He's the man every soldier should aspire to be. A strong fighter and brilliant tactician rolled into one. Huh, you can just feel the excitement in the air. The Oxens have some crazy firepower, but they require a lot of maintenance. They're like fussy little babies, if fussing little babies could fire armor-piercing rounds anyway. The older engineers seem really worn out. I'm new here myself, but it sounds like it's always like this when they have to prep for military exercises. This here's called the Opal Net. We got hooked up after the Rifle Company asked us to test it out. I gotta say, it's pretty darn impressive. You can pretty much access it whenever you want, and can give way more specific orders than you can on the phone. To be honest, this overtime would have been a huge nightmare if it weren't for this. It's a shame that we only got the overnet set up here in the command center and in the storage areas. That'd be way easier if we could use it to contact tradesmen and other non-military folks too. I'm not looking forward to this. You've never seen any military exercises before, right, Reed? Yeah, this would be my first time. I take it you have then. Yeah, my dad showed me one the last time he brought me out here. He really does want me to join the military, but I really don't think I'll ever be suited for it the way he is. I get what you're coming from. The more I hear about his dad, the more curious I get. I'm not entirely sure how how to feel seeing this many oxen lined up like this. The Rifle Company makes these, don't they? Unfortunately so. I'm sure they'll be using them for this military exercise too. As far as I can tell, they'll be pitted against the older automated models. That sounds pretty brutal. Older tanks won't stand a chance. Well, that's kind of the point. They want to show off just how easily the Oxens can dominate them. Huh. Well, you don't get the chance to go eyes on with this stuff every day. I'll take the opportunity to see for myself just how competent they are. That's just like her. There's no doubt that they'll be using the Oxens in this exercise. Blah blah blah. Let's see what Mother's tanks are made of. And down over here. This is the first hangar. This is the first hangar where we keep our tanks. Every soldier in the 5th Armored Division knows it back to front, so be sure to take a good look around. Okay, so we explored this one. Let's go back. I want to make sure I do this in order. So we kind of sweep through like the top part, and then we kind of sweep through like the lower section here. Actually, no, the motor pool. Oh, no, so that kind of bends around. We'll go look through here. Also, one moment. Okay, I'm back. I have to check something. Looks like this is the Fortress's airport. There might come a day when I find myself in a military airship. you'll find Garrelia Canyon to the east, and Crossbow lies beyond it. They're currently in the middle of some international conference over there. Oh, wait, we can't, like, see over there. Okay, and it's just, these guys. Right, that should do it. Normally I tell you how powerful these things are, but you're about to see for yourself. Excuse me. We're about to head out for our military exercise. They say the 4th Armored Division is the strongest unit in the Imperial Army. Huh, I'm looking forward to this. Try not to get too close to the airships. Oh right, I forgot to talk to these two. Crazy, it really is night and day. Yeah, it's hard to imagine two places more diametrically opposed. What's wrong, you two? Oh, we're just talking about how different this place is to Jirai. Jirai was super lively, but this place, I think Crow's having withdrawals, and now that he's someone without easy access to a casino at all times. I can imagine. It seems like everyone's talking about Jirai these days, though. Was it really that amazing? It was. I didn't know what to expect with the recent annexation by Erebonian, but everything looked fine to me. It has offices, an entertainment district, and all of the people I saw were thoroughly enjoying themselves. I'd go as far as to say that they're happy to be under the Imperial government's control. Well, I don't know if I'd go that far. Oh? A little bird told me that Chancellor Osborne was the one behind the annexation in the first place. And told me he used some pretty forceful tactics to get him to agree. And of course, most of the tax money takes a brand new detour straight into the Imperial government's pockets. I wouldn't be surprised if he made the annexation happen to fatten his little pocketbook. But paying taxes is a citizen's duty, not when people are going to be living in poverty. It's only natural that they do so now that they're under Erebonian's protection, right? It's more like extortion. Sounds like this is a pretty complicated issue. Sure, I've heard claims that Chancellor Osborne's main priority is Erebonian territorial expansion, but, am I being too hard-headed? A little bit. You're one stubborn kid. Oh well, we're here. Might as well try to enjoy it. Wait, we talked to this guy already, right? Must be, yeah. Today's military exercise is a big one. They're pulling out all the stops today. The guys who are actually participating already left a while ago, though. Oh, wait, this is the same guy, so. Oh, are you taking a rest, Emma? I did take a short walk around, but everything about this fortress is so imposing. It made me feel a little faint. I feel you there. Looking at Emma now, it's hard to believe she's the same person who almost single-handedly guided us through that castle. Green? Nah, never mind. But there is one thing that's been bugging me lately. Ever since we arrived in Legram, I feel like just out of the corner of my eye, I catch glimpses of this small black shadow following us. But ever since we got to the fortress, I hadn't seen it. Really? Maybe you were possessed by something. Possessed? Yikes, that's kind of an unsettling thought. It is, isn't it? Oh, I almost thought I told her to go back when we reached Keldic. This fortress is so vast, I could see myself getting lost if I'm not careful. I'm glad I didn't bring her along. What is it? Good old Celine. Okay, so I'll talk to everyone else that doesn't have the marker over their heads. So, that's Major Neidhart of the 4th Armored Division, huh? in his time serving under Lieutenant General Craig. I hear he's come to be considered one of the Army's top 2 most promising young officers. And he's actually pretty handsome, if I say so myself. I bet anything he flies right up the ranks. Garrelia Fortress is the eastern cornerstone of the Empire, in both size and strategic importance. In addition to all the guardsmen assigned to the fortress, the 5th Armored Division is stationed here as well. If you go by the sheer number of soldiers, Garrelia is easily the Empire's largest military base. Huh. Having that kind of power on display would make Calvar think twice before messing with us. I think you have your attention misdirected here. This ain't about Calvard. Not by a long shot. Well, I mean, sort of kinda is, but... Hey there, I can take care of resupplying soldiers' personal equipment. I got permission to sell to you, so if there's anything you need, just let me know. Yo, Imperial Chronicle! Dude, no HP 3? What's going on here? No evade 3 either? I don't think there's anything I want to make just now. The corridor on the right leads to the right wing of the fortress. Left, you'll find the guest rooms and briefing room. That staircase over there leads to the command center, but you haven't been granted permission to go inside. That's just how it is, I'm afraid. Maybe they'll decide to show you around there later. Welcome to Garrelia Fortress. You and your classmates from Thor's Military Academy have been granted permission to explore the fortress. As long as you don't stray outside the permitted area, you are free to go wherever you like. Whoops. Oh. You haven't been granted permission to enter the command center. I'll need to ask you to leave. Okay, well, talk to Neidhart a little bit later. So we talked to everyone else here. Let's go to motor pool again. Let's go to over here. Oh, my eyes. Wow. It really does feel like a city in itself. I can't believe the size of this place. Oh, given that uniform, you must be one of the students from Thor's. Feel free to look around how you like, but try to stay out of our way. We're all incredibly busy at the moment. So if you don't mind, I'd ask you to make your way over to the corridor there instead of hanging around here. Understood. Well, thank you very much. Might as well head over there. Oh. Oh, you're one of those students from Thor's, aren't you? Don't wander off on your own or anything. Security's on high alert because of the trade conference. Working some pretty rough shifts already, so we don't need you causing us any extra trouble. And there are these two. And Milliam. What's with that kid? I know we've been getting visitors from Thor's, but they're older than that, right? How'd you even get in here? Don't cause any problems, alright? Between handling security and getting ready for the military exercise, we got enough on our hands as is. Everyone drawing question marks about Milliam. Oh. Is there like no actual way to wait, no way. Yeah, I'll talk to the others later. I want to make sure I don't miss a thing. The train schedules have all been changed up while the train conference is going on. It's supposed to be a special security measure. But really, all it's done is put us on edge. Oh, here's container 32A. Jeez, why can't they ever deliver these things on time? Oh, guess you're a visitor. Try not to wander anywhere that's off limits. Things are pretty crazy right now. Ain't a soldier here who wouldn't leap at the chance for a full night's rest. Huh, where did this container come from? I don't remember anyone ordering it. Oh. Dude, report this shit right now. Past noon already? No wonder I'm starving. That military exercise has really upped our workload. What? I just want to get this over with and grab a bite to eat. Bro, come on. If there's anything that seems like, I don't remember us getting an extra thing here. Come on, dude. Pick up the context. The trade conference, the Imperial Liberation Front's been quiet. Oh my goodness. You've only been granted permission to explore certain parts of the left wing. Everywhere else is off limits. If it's any consolation, there's not much worth seeing in the right wing, to be honest. And mostly just storage rooms. Aw. So we can't go to the barracks right now. Alright, I guess I'll start talking. The soldiers here seem pretty well trained. Pretty well equipped too, like you'd expect from the Empire's biggest fortress. You need to put in some serious prep time if you wanted to topple it. I'm not sure that's something you should say within earshot of the soldiers. Old habits die hard. Oh my god, Fee. They do seem to be outfitted well though. Wouldn't expect any less from the Imperial Army. Looks like we can get supplies over at that counter too. Seems with the look. I had heard about the fortress from my father, but seeing it in person really drives home its incredible scale. Oh yeah, your father helps train the Imperial Army in swordsmanship, doesn't he? I can see why he's so busy, if he's going around training all the soldiers in places this massive. Indeed, I feel like the reality of that is finally sinking in for me as well. I have no idea how his teachings are actually being applied though. Perhaps we'll have the opportunity to find out during today's military training exercise. I'm looking forward to it. I expect some of the soldiers in this fortress have been trained by my father. Today's the blah blah blah, putting the training. Okay, well, I'm getting bored. No, not really bored, but impatient. Motor pool was with Elisa and Elliot. Then we just have these three, and then we need to go over to the other area, wherever it's called. Yo, Major Nightheart, did you know that there's an extra container that we don't know anything about? So you're the students who have come to tour the fortress. Yes, sir. He's wearing an officer's uniform. I wonder if he's... This is Lieutenant General Walter, commander of Garrelia Fortress. He also serves as the division commander for the 5th Armored Division, which is stationed here. I apologize for not greeting you sooner, sir. Thank you for granting us the opportunity to tour the fortress. It really is an honor. Well, at least you aren't lacking in manners. Probably built like a soldier, though. I have my doubts you'd be able to endure the military's training regimen with a physique like that. You sure you're training them properly, Major? My apologies, sir. Now I hear the Academy has a former bracer as their combat instructor. They must really be scraping bottom. I've heard of the Purple Lightning before, of course, but a bracer's still a What the fuck? Dude, are we back like 2 or 3 years where people were discriminating against bracers? What the fuck? Leaving such an important role in the hands of a civilian is ridiculous. The famous Thors isn't what it used to be. Well, no surprises here. It's like he fills in every box on the checklist for stereotypical Imperial Army soldier. Anyway, as Fortress Commander, allow me to welcome you to Garrelia. Keep in mind though, that we're constantly on alert for potential threats from the east. I have no problem with your class conducting your field study here, but see that you don't get in the way. Of course, sir. Very well. I'll take my leave here, as I have business to attend to. Nice. He's certainly strict. Well, he is responsible for keeping one of the Empire's most vital defensive fortifications running smoothly. Considering the ongoing tensions between the Empire and Republic, you should be grateful he allowed you to come at all. I won't forget it. Now I'm afraid I must excuse myself as well. You're welcome to tour the rest of the fortress, but don't try to enter the command center. Of course, good luck with your work, instructor. I'll see you later then. Dude, Arthur's an asshole. It really is like we're back like 2 or 3 years in time in this series. It's like, ugh, bracers. It's like, bro. Oh yeah, Tolva gave me a call about what happened in Legram. So he had a mechanical monster show up outside city limits. Yeah, Tolva looked pretty concerned when we first mentioned it to him too. Do you know anything about them? Well, I'm no stranger to the group that makes them. They go by the name Ouroboros. Oh, we're finally getting the society now! They're a secret society of sorts that acts in the shadows all across the continent. A secret society? We don't know how many members there are, what they're capable of. Honestly, we don't know much about them at all. What we do know is that they have access to technology more advanced than the most cutting-edge research institutes, and they've been behind several crises that have threatened to shake the foundations of the entire nation-states. And these are the people who made those monsters? If I hadn't seen it with my own eyes, I would find it hard to swallow, but there's no denying what we saw out there. Huh. Well, you don't need to come to grips with it just yet. We call the mechanical monsters like the ones you guys fought archaisms. And lately it seems like an awful lot of them have made their way onto the black market. There's been one sighting after another these days, all over the Empire and beyond. Wow, that's heavy. There's that word again. Heavy. But does that mean there's a chance they might be plotting something here in Erebonia? Just in your opinion, I mean. Well, that's the tricky thing about them. It doesn't necessarily mean that at all. There have been cases where we know they put archaisms onto the wild purely to test their abilities, for example. Still, it's something to keep in the back of your mind at least. Right, I'll be sure to let the others know too. Honestly, as if we don't have enough to worry about with the terrorists out there and the two factions at each other's throats. She'd just play innocent too, even if I try to press her about it. Claire, what do you mean? Just talking to myself. Oh wait, what about Sharon? Oh yeah, Sharon. Anyway, you just focus on your field study right now. Between this fortress and the training exercise you'll be observing this afternoon, you have a front row seat to see what the military is all about. Understood, instructor. Okay. And I don't think any different dialogues changed, so let me talk to Emma one more time. Yeah, okay. So, we just gotta go to the motor pool now, and I believe the fastest way is down here. Let me see what Milliam has to say. I guess you can't see it from here after all. We'd be able to see it from where the railway guns are, but don't get mad if I get too close to them. What are you up to now, William? You know that huge Orcus tower that they're holding the trade where they're holding the trade conference? I'm trying to get a good view of that. Oh yeah, they mentioned it in the Imperial Chronicle and on the radio. Can you actually see it from all the way over there? Or over here? That'd be incredible. Would I ever lie to you? I wish I could have gone with Gramps instead of being stuck to some stupid field study. Why'd you join Class VII then? Speaking of which, they're going to be holding the keynote session there tomorrow. I wonder what they'll be talking about during it. Most people are thinking it's just so they decide on finance rules and stuff for Western Zemuria, but I think it's really going to end up about being who Crossbow belongs to. Knowing Gramps, he might even try to get Crossbow to become part of Erebonia. Seriously? The prince is going to be there too, so he'll probably just try to shake everyone up a bit. Unbelievable. Toa's there too, though, so here's hoping things go well. Oh man, I wanted to go to Crossbow too. You got a theme park there and everything. Gramps and Lecter are so lucky. Yeah, this really is a massive fortress to try to take down yourself. This fortress is the very definition of oversized, and that's ignoring the excessive display of military power. I imagine the posturing is meant to show the Croatian provincial army that they can crush them on a whim. I forgot what this place probably means to you and your family. I suppose. While I don't agree with my father's actions, I can't say I'm comfortable with this fortress's presence either. In fact, I find it hard to believe that anyone could sleep peacefully near a fortress like this. If the soldiers and weaponry weren't enough, the railway guns trained on Crossbow don't bode well either, especially when you realize that the Blood and Iron Chancellor himself chose where to point them. Huh. And he exercised to flaunt his power. Guys, are you okay? I'm just kinda shocked by how different the atmosphere here is from Zender Gate. Well, it is a major military base right on the border of Crossbow. I never imagined it be quite this big though. The place is quite a departure from Zender Gate that I can hardly believe that this is the same military. Although perhaps this is the true face of the Imperial Army. This fortress is a massive departure from the image I've had of the military up until now. It's a reality I can accept, but one that I pray Nord will never have to face. Alright, we're done. Are we? There we go. This bulletin is to inform all Thor students that preparations for today's military exercise are now complete. Please assemble in the hangar immediately. Your transport is standing by. I repeat. That's Instructor Neidhart. Time must have passed more quickly than I thought. I suppose I should start making my way toward the hangar. Maybe I'll run into the others on my way. You boarded the armored cars and set off for toward the proving grounds. Vroom, vroom. The inside of the armored cars was narrow and cramped, and a smell of machine oil hung in the musty air. The car shook and rattled over the uneven ground, tumbling us around like an iron coffin on wheels. Eventually, after enduring 10 minutes of jaw-rattling travel, unable to even peek outside at the scenery, we finally arrived at Garrelia Fortress, at Garrelia Fortress's military proving grounds. The interior was really that bad, huh? I mean, I don't think they really leave much room for comfort, but come on, if you're gonna be having people, like, ride around there, at least make it comfortable enough. Wow, Oxen main battle tanks. There are plenty of older model tanks out there too. It even looks like they have airships. Oh yeah, like the ones we saw in Nord. Welcome. Oh. Oh. Who this? Oh. So that's Elliot's dad. I don't see the family resemblance. Looks like the hair made the jump, looks like the hair made the jump from father to son, though. Reporting, Lieutenant General. Very good, Neidhart. Instructor Valentine, I believe. Pleased to meet you. It's an honor to make your acquaintance, Lieutenant General Craig. Allow me to extend my deepest thanks for agreeing to cooperate with us for the Academy's curriculum today. Think nothing of it. Many of these fine youngsters may one day hold positions in the Imperial Army after all. Besides, I owe a lot to old General Van Dyke. Ah, these must be... What a piercing stare. So this is Craig the Red. Elliot, my boy, it's so good to see you again. Huh? Huh? Bear hug. Ah. It must be half a year now since I last saw you. How have you been? That's a sharp-looking uniform you got too. I've seen the photos, but it looks even better on you in person. But Dad, come on. Huh, you still got a long way to go if you want to put on some real muscle. There's a part of me that hopes you'll stay my little cherub forever. But you're a man of Erebonia, and the men of the Empire must be strong, stout, and ready for action. It was for your own good as a man that I held back my tears and enrolled you in the military academy. Dad, I can't breathe. I feel like everything I've been told about him was a lie. There do seem to be some differences from the stories. You kidding me? He seems like a pretty cool guy. What a delightful commanding officer you have, Major. Words fail me. Dad, knock it off. Tell Fiona. Oh. Right, moving right along. Wonder if anything's changed. I'm Lieutenant General Olaf Craig, Commander of the Imperial Army's 4th Armored Division. I've been entrusted with the role of overseeing today's joint military exercise. Pleased to make your acquaintance. Likewise, sir. It's a pleasure, sir. You've got one heck of a dad, Elliot. Believe me, I feel it in the bones. Now let me give you a brief rundown of what will be happening. This exercise will consist of a simulated battle conducted by 2 of our armored divisions. The armor regiments at the formation center infantry, armored cars, and airships will work in tandem, using their maneuverability to the fullest to obliterate the targets. As our targets today, we'll be using previous model tanks that have been decommissioned from service. Autopilot functionality will allow them to evade and return fire, but they've only been armed with paint bullets. However, all the other regiments taking part in today's exercise have been equipped with live ammunition. So you intend to actually destroy the other tanks? Huh, it would hardly be a live fire exercise if we don't. The current time is 1400 hours, right on schedule. We'll now begin today's joint military exercise. Armored Divisions 4 and 5. Commence combat operations. Glory to the Empire and the Imperial Army. Begin! Yes, sir! 5th Armored Division. Armored Regiment will advance first. Armored Car Regiment and Infantry Regiment follow their lead. 4th Armored Division. Armored Regiment and Infantry Regiment advance together. Armored Car Regiment deploy to the left and right. Yeah, paint bullets. A one shot. No contest, holy shit. Dude, that clipping. It's certainly potent. So this is the kind of firepower it takes to fight a modern war. You said those tanks are called Oxens. Yeah, they're a type of main battle tank the Rifle Company developed 2 years ago. I've seen their spec sheets, but seeing their firepower, or seeing their power firsthand, tells you what numbers and decimal points don't. They might be the strongest heavy tanks on the continent. And the Imperial Army's got a couple hundred of those in the wings, huh? That's kinda crazy. You try fighting these things head on and you won't stand a chance. That's true for our own nation as it is for others. I just can't get used to this. Just the sound of artillery firing is enough to make me start shaking. I don't think that's something you should get used to. I mean, if the sound of guns in warfare ever stopped bothering you, I'd be worried. I mean, I guess this is another kind of strength. Sounds of battle making him uneasy. Thus, the military exercise came to an end. The 4th Armored Division, led by Lieutenant General Craig, withdrew to an encampment near the fortress. Meanwhile, we returned to the fortress, where Major Neidhart outlined the results of the training exercises. After that, do we get a nice, riveting dinner from the mess hall again? Oh man, what do we have for dinner? Is that curry? Sorry you had to wait for us to finish. Don't worry about it. We're the guests here after all. Thanks for your consideration. At the very least, I'd say dinner's a million times better than lunch was. I mean, it's hash beef day! That's an Imperial Army tradition, isn't it? Ooh, just the smell's making me hungry. Oh yeah, where'd your instructor go? She's a real looker. I was hoping to get a chance to talk to her. She went to see the Fortress Commander with Instructor Neidhart. She did ask us to eat without her tonight. Ah, right. Well, she's with Major Neidhart. It's hard to compete with those guys from the 4th Armored Division. It'd be enough if they just had Craig the Red, but they got the Major too. He's kind of scary. Like a division of muscle men. Anyway, we shouldn't keep you tied up any longer. Your hash beef's gonna go cold. See you tomorrow, guys. I mean, it's better than the rock hard bread. Wow, it's actually delicious. It's like night and day compared to what we had for lunch. You're telling me. Huh. Come on guys, what's with all the gloomy faces? You think you guys might have had a bit too rosy of an outlook? What were you expecting to see out there? I'm sure you can understand at least a little of how we feel. It's like everything we learned in our time at the academy been for nothing. Academics, the arts, individual skill in combat, none of those matter in the slightest in real warfare, do they? It's true. If all you're looking to do is fight a war, you don't need any of those. All you need is plenty of troops at your command, the latest weaponry, and overwhelming firepower. Assuming you know the tactics to use them well and a strategy that employs them effectively, I suppose. The Oxens are even more powerful than I was expecting them to be, though. I remember my mother boasting about the capabilities when she was trying to sell them to the army 2 years ago, but to be honest, I'm feeling somewhat disheartened as well. I can't see there being a place for swords on the battlefield with weapons like those on the front lines. Well, I don't think that means individual combat skill doesn't matter at all. Still, I think maybe we've been misunderstanding something important all this time. What we saw in the military exercise today was power in its purest form. It has no morality of its own. It exists to bring about a result, regardless of the ideals or principles of those who wield it. That's true. In a sense, the same can be said of a sword or a gun. And all the way up, this feels weird to read. And all the way on up to something as huge as Garrelia's railway guns too. I think I finally understand why they wanted us to watch that military exercise in the first place. Huh. They could have taught us in a less roundabout fashion. Well, looks like you didn't wait for me to start the party. Instructor Sarah? So you spoke with the commander? Sure did. Got up-to-date info on the trade conference too. As well as all the latest on the terrorists. So there's new information about the Imperial Liberation Front? Anyway, before I get to that, let me explain what you'll be doing tomorrow. In the morning, you'll be scheduled to participate in the Imperial Army's physical fitness training. In the afternoon, you'll be attending a special lecture, where I'll bring you up to speed on that info I just mentioned. After that, you've been granted special permission to view the railway guns. I see. Looking forward to that. Sounds like we got a pretty packed schedule. Well, we did bring you all the way out here, so might as well make the most of it. Every nation possesses power in the form of a military, whether that military is large or small. Garrelia Fortress just happens to have that power in a very striking, easy to understand form. As students of a military academy, you have an obligation to know the scale of the power the Empire of Erebonia wields at present. A power you might one day be in charge of yourselves. What? Anyway, even a meeting that long couldn't keep me away from trying the famous hash beef rice. I've heard it's the only decent food they have around here, so I've been looking forward to this all day. Yo, chef! We should probably finish eating. Yeah, though it's gotten a bit cold now. Maybe I'll go and ask for seconds. Oh, Eustace, if you don't want the rest of yours, can I have it? I'd sooner throw it away than give it to you. Excuse me. Click, click. Okay, and that should do it. Alright, that covers today's quota. Whew, I'm looking forward to a nice long bath. Well, you know how every time there's a military exercise coming up, the workload gets pretty crazy like this. At least managing inventory's gotten easier thanks to the global net. They got everything hooked up on the network over in Crossbow, right? Wish the Empire could get on that a bit more. Think of the utility. Right from the sound of it, you need special equipment to send signals through a wire connection to make use of it. And considering the size of the Empire, it's probably going to be quite a while before it's a widespread thing here. Huh? An orb mail? Looks like it's from HQ. Oh, you've got to be kidding me. This right here is the problem with the orbital net. There's no such thing as off hours when they can send you orders right around the clock. Huh? What's going on? So get this. They're planning on doing some extra exercise tomorrow. As you gotta outfit 20 oxen with C units by tomorrow. 20! Seriously? Might as well start with another pot of coffee. We're in for an all-nighter for sure. Do we even have that many C units left? Actually, another lot came by freight just this evening. Exactly 20, if you can believe it. Guess we'll just have to get it done. Ah, crap. At least let us take a shower. I'm gonna head down to the mess hall and grab some snacks. You want anything? Man, how much are they paying these guys? Like, they need to be paid extra for this shit. Ooh, and we're saving right here too. What time is it though? 1 in the morning? I think I'll actually leave it here for now. It's getting a little bit late. I know I started the stream late. I sincerely apologize for that. But I should probably get some rest for tomorrow. Because tomorrow I won't be streaming, but I'll be going to a friend's place. So, don't want to go to his place and get all sleepy and end up falling asleep there. That'd be a shame. So, anyways, I'll just Alt F4 here and send it off for tonight. So, thank you guys for watching Cold Steel tonight.